Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks are planning a major move, and Thibs is getting kind of crazy here as Julius Randle will be playing minutes at center this season, which will lead to Precious Achiuwa getting traded off the team, and we're going to talk about all this. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video today because Tom Thibodeau was recently interviewed, and he talked a lot about his plans for the Knicks this season, what he thinks of the team, and all the moves that have been made. And he has revealed some truths, and Thibs is getting kind of crazy out here. Despite the fact that he loves rim-protecting centers, Tom Thibodeau has revealed he does plan on playing Julius Randle at some center minutes this season. So let's jump into it. Now, as Thibs said, we started the season where Mitchell Robinson was the starter, and he was off to a monster start. When he went out, Jericho Sims started, then got hurt. Then Hartenstein came in and did what he did. When he got hurt, Precious came in along with Taj Gibson, so we rotated guys at that position the entire year. We'll probably have to do it by committee this year, meaning center. We'll look at some different things because we have versatility. We could see Julius more at the 5. I don't want to do that for long stretches. It would take its toll. But to have him do it for 10 or 15 minutes a night, I think he could do it well. He also would create a lot of offensive advantages. Tom Thibodeau has adapted to the times. I have been saying this since I started doing Knicks Digest over a year ago now. And, I mean, the man's adapted. This is what we've been waiting for. Tom Thibodeau to adapt to modern basketball. It happened a few years ago, but now it is fully happening. Thibs knows that he can use Julius Randle at the center position, and it is going to open up so many doors for an elite offense by the New York Knicks. Now, yes, the defense will struggle a little bit, but if you're running that lineup, that small ball Julius at the 5 lineup, that means that Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby are still going to be out there on the court together. It's going to be pretty hard to score on that team if OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges are on the court together, regardless of who your center is. You could have me being the center out there, and having OG and Mikal would make a massive difference. I love this move. It will give Randle the chance to have more one-on-ones at the hoop and be able to kick it out on switches. The Knicks can work switches. Brunson loves to manipulate screens. You get Julius to set you a screen. Julius is a human brick wall. Make them switch. Get the big guy on Brunson. Hit Julius, who's being guarded by a smaller guy. Have him bully some guys so they have to play double, or you have to have Julius scoring a one-on-one against some guard at the rim. Yeah, he could do that. This is going to open up doors for the Knicks to have the best offense in probably their entire history of basketball. And it is because Julius Randle is going to be a versatile player for them this year. He's not just going to be a power forward. He is going to play more center than ever before. And I absolutely love this. Now, if you take a look here, and we're going to make that a little bit bigger, throughout Julius Randle's career, he did play a good chunk at center on the Lakers and on the Pelicans. But since he got to the Knicks, the most he'd ever played center was 7%. Being on the Knicks in general, 94% of his minutes have come at the power forward position. Only 5 has come at the center position. Julius has taken a massive step back from being a center, and he did become a more versatile player. Absolutely, that's the truth. And if you look right here, you could see it. Julius was not taking too many threes in his first season with the Knicks. He was still the same Julius Randle that was on the Pelicans and the Lakers. It was before he blew up onto the scene and became the Julius Randle that we all know, and many of us love, and some people hate for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Or, well, no logical reason that makes sense if you're an actual Knicks fan, I should say. But Julius last season took less threes than he had in any season outside of his first season with the Knicks. He was pounding the ball inside more because that's where he scores the best. He shoots better threes in low volume. I mean, he shot over 50% on corner threes. Now, only around 18% of his shots were corner threes. His corner three percentage was not even that. It was 14%. Julius has went out there and been an awesome player for the New York Knicks. No one is doubting that. No one is arguing that. And now he's going to get a chance to continue to do that at a higher level than he's been able to do because he's going to get the chance to get more one-on-ones as he plays center. But Thibs did not stop there. He also mentioned that he thinks Julius has adapted to whatever challenge he's faced each year. People forget the level that he's played at. 4 years ago, he had a monster season. And the Knicks didn't have the shooting they have now. So the floor is going to be more open, as I've been talking about. We got a glimpse of that in January, which was his last month of basketball. People forget the guy was a 25, 10, and 5 player, as Thibs mentioned. He's had a lot of success and has been a big part of winning the last 4 years in New York. The more good players you have, the more sacrifices you have to make. But that's not only by Julius, it's by everybody. And I agree with Thibs. I think Brunson's not going to be a top 5 player in points per game again this season. There's too many shot creators. Julius is not going to average 25 points per game again. There's too many guys to score the ball. Mikhail's not going to put up over 20 points. OG's not going to put over 16 points. There's just going to be less scoring from each individual player because this is a team ball squad that is just going to go out there and win games. They're not focused on sole accolades. They're focused on the one thing, which is getting a ring on their fingers, being the first team, the first New York Knicks team to win a championship in over 50 years. That is what they're focused on. They're not looking at anything else. Now, I still think the Knicks are going to go out and make a move for a center in January, and I think it will involve trading Precious Achiuwa. If Thibs is already open to playing Julius 15 minutes at center, that's going to be half the time that Julius, not half. It's going to be between a third and half the time that Julius is in the game. Julius will probably play somewhere around 33, 34 minutes per game this season, so a little bit under that, but regardless, he's going to play a big chunk of his time at center, meaning that when Mitchell Robinson's not on the floor, we're going to see a lot of Julius at center, meaning we're going to see even less Precious Achiuwa in the game than I think most of us expected. With that being the case, I think that certainly means Precious, who's on a 1-year, $6 million contract, is going to get moved sometime in January. They could package him with a Cameron Payne, maybe with Marcus Morris, who is going to make the team over Landry Shamet and Chuma Okeke. Maybe someone else, just to add $3 extra million onto it, be able to trade $9 million instead of $6, because the Knicks are going to have to pay out more money than they're going to have to take in because they are over that first apron, meaning you cannot take in more money in a trade, more salary. The Knicks can't trade Precious Achiuwa, who makes $6 million, for Jonas Valanciunas, who makes $9 million. It's just not allowed based off the first apron rules, even if your salary cap allows it. So, looking at this, I think this is just another sign that Thibs has moved towards positionless basketball, and there's 3 positions in basketball, really 3.5. You have a point guard on the court, you have a center on the court. Then you have 3 of either wings or forwards. And that's why I say 3.5, because they're basically the same thing. Julius Randle, a forward. Mikal Bridges, a wing. Dante DiVincenzo, a wing. OG Anunoby, both. Josh Hart, well, Josh Hart's just a straight-up winner. As Steve Kerr mentioned last year, Josh is just a winner. People ask what position does he play? He plays winner. I don't know what position he plays. He gets loose balls, and he guards everyone. And that's very reminiscent of what Thibs said. We lost Isaiah Hartenstein, which is what we'll have to replace, but I think we have versatility where we can play smaller at times because of OG's ability to guard big. Julius and Josh Hart can guard bigs well. Also, it's just a huge thing to note. And Josh Hart, I mean, obviously plays bigger than the 6'4" height, averaging 9.5 points per game, which also will go down. 8.3 rebounds per game and 4 assists. The man's just a winner. That .310 shooting percentage, nothing to really worry about considering in the playoffs he shot far better than that. Josh Hart got his jump shot down. He even talked about how he had a broken jump shot throughout the season and then got it fixed. Josh, one of our favorite podcasters, got it together. And Julius, this man can play center completely. He averages 9.2 rebounds per game with 24 points and 5 assists. 9.2 rebounds is in the top 20 of rebounds per game, meaning that Julius will be able to hold his own. He's going to take even less than 29% of threes this year, I believe, and that is going to just lead to more efficient play from one of the best players on the New York Knicks, the Knicks' second best player, to Jalen Brunson, obviously, who's an NBA superstar, and I just love this. I think this is perfect for this Knicks team, and I think it shows. And taking a look at what Josh Hart did, Josh played most of his minutes at small forward and power forward this season with a tad at shooting guard also, but all 3 of those are effectively the same position nowadays. You're there, spot up, score, play defense. One of those 3 things you're going to do. Maybe just be a versatile winner like Josh Hart, who's the best role player in basketball. There's a lot of different ways you can go about this, and I think this is just going to lead to another great season by the New York Knicks. And in the process, I think the Knicks will be trading Precious Achiuwa, his $6 million. If you had to force me to tell you what is going to happen right now, I would put my money on saying the Knicks use that $6 million Precious Achiuwa contract to trade it for Nick Richards, who makes $5 million in the Hornets. The Knicks would also probably give out a second-round pick in order to do so, something I think is very much worth it. I think that'd be a steal for the Knicks. You get Nick Richards locked up for a few years. You get to develop him under Mark Bryant, under Tom Thibodeau, under Othello Harrington, who have been awesome at developing big men throughout their time there. See Isaiah Hartenstein. So I do think that is going to be what happens, and then Julius is no longer going to be playing center for the Knicks. But in the short term, yes, I think Julius will be playing some center. Thibs seems to already indicate that that's certainly going to happen, and I think it's going to lead to the Knicks having the best season they've had in my 23 years of living. I think it's going to be one of the best seasons the Knicks have had, and they could certainly win the NBA Finals. Something I'm going to talk about on a video coming out soon, as they are finals contenders, so stay tuned for that. So make sure you're subscribed, like this video, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks, y'all.